If you've ever finished a workout program and immediately asked yourself, did I see results? That's actually the wrong question because that one question is the main reason that most people quit programs that are genuinely working. So, in this video, I'm going to break down for you exactly why that question is setting you up to quit and what to ask yourself instead, because there are actually two questions that are better. And the order that you ask them in matters more than the questions themselves. Question one is about consistency and what you're actually going to keep doing. And then question two is about the definition of results and what they are, because most people have genuinely never given it that much thought. And I'm going to walk you through both in a minute. But first, I want to explain why the results question is so effective at making people quit even when that program is genuinely working. So here's what's actually happening when you ask yourself the results question too early. There's a concept in psychology that we call intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation. Extrinsic motivation is basically tied to the visible outcome, the number on the scale, the before and after photos, the mirror. And the problem with that is that it's very fragile and it needs feedback to survive. And in the first 4 to 6 weeks of any new program, that feedback isn't necessarily there yet because you may not see a super huge change in the scale or in your body, or it may not be super obvious yet that your body is changing. Intrinsic motivation, however, works differently. And that's basically the internal stuff, the how you feel, your energy, the fact that you showed up again. It doesn't need a visual result to keep going. There's also something called process goals versus outcome goals. An outcome goal is I want to lose 20 pounds. A process goal is I'm going to show up 3 times per week. And the research is really interesting because the research is very clear that people who are more focused on process goals are significantly more likely to actually reach their outcome goals because they're measuring something that they can control right now, not something that takes months to appear. And this is with any kind of goal, not just in fitness. So that brings me to the first question. And that's not what program is going to get me results the fastest. The question is, what am I going to be consistent with? And that might feel basic, but it's the truth. What are you going to do week 6 when you're exhausted and you just don't feel like it? When you're in the middle of the lull and the dopamine hit from trying a new program has worn off? Because that's the program, that's the thing that you should be doing. Because an imperfect program done consistently will always get you farther than a perfect program that you quit after the 3rd week. Answer that one question first, then we can talk about showing up. Because once showing up isn't a battle anymore, because even though right now for many of you that will not feel like the case, but there will be a time, believe it or not, when showing up doesn't feel like the struggle anymore. Because you can ask the previous version of me who hated exercise, who is now sad that she cannot lift for 4 to 6 weeks. Then you get to ask the second question, which is this is the one I think people have never actually answered honestly. They just assume results. But what are results exactly? Are we building muscle? Are we building strength? Are we talking about longevity, more energy, keeping up with your kids, not being winded climbing the stairs, or are they aesthetic? Because all of those things truly, they're completely valid. Whatever you want to do with your body is up to you. But most of us don't really sit down and ask ourselves what it is and define that definition. We just get absorbed in the results mindset of the 30-day transformation marketing, and we're assumed that that means the mirror. And then when the mirror doesn't change fast enough, we quit something that was genuinely working for something it was never supposed to do. So, defining what results actually means for you specifically and personally is a whole conversation. And I'll link a video that I did. I believe that would be last week. And honestly, I think it deserves its own video. So, I'm going to link the video from last week that I made that will help you sort of navigate which results piece is for you and why. I want to be real with you about this. Why I'm so confident in this is because I absolutely did it. I did this all the time. I'd get to week 3 of something, feel like nothing was happening, it wasn't working enough, and then I'd immediately start researching my next program. The next thing I knew, I was on to the next thing, but I was never actually locked into anything. It was, is this working? But I never actually let anything work. And I'm a licensed counselor, and even I was caught in the loop. It took me losing over 40 pounds to realize that the shift wasn't a better program. It was a better question. And that's not a willpower problem. That's literally how we were taught to think about fitness. So let me know in a comment. Do you actually know what your results goal is? Like specifically, is it strength? Is it energy? Is it aesthetic, longevity? What is it? Because if you want, we can do an even deeper dive beyond the video that I did, and that can be a part 2. And to make sure you don't miss that, make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so already. If this really resonated with you, then I have another video here. This is all about building muscle and losing fat at home. And this is over here, my creator playlist. So if you want to pick a program and actually stick with it, click there and I will show you some reviews. And until next time, bye friends.